All right, we are live with today's news. It's centered specifically around a few airdrop opportunities, and there's a lot of stuff to cover, but we're going to cover this as fast as we can. So let's just dive straight in, starting with probably the biggest news here, which is Magic Eden. Now, I use Solflare Wallet as my go-to, but it's probably always worth to try out different things as a backup, especially if you're into the NFTs. You may want to do something with Magic Eden Wallet. If you have used it in some way, then you may be eligible to try out the TestME aspect. And I don't know exactly what you would have had to do, but maybe if you minted some of the your random NFTs like on Base or the Claynosaurs one or the DAA one or all these kind of commemorative NFTs with the Magic Eden wallet, you might be able to do this. How it works is this is going to be going live on the 29th to the 31st. It's a test token. Everyone gets the same amount if you're eligible. And who knows if you're going to get a little bit of actual ME tokens for participating in helping this be a successful thing. That speculation is what it is. It says US and UK users not eligible. Maybe you can VPN around that. That is not legal advice, just merely mentioning the obvious. And if you don't want to do this, that's completely fine. Probably going to be worth your time though. Fabiano watched the entire stream of Magic Eden. I didn't watch any of it, just a little bit too busy. But here's a good little TLDR, which we always appreciate this. It says anyone who's traded on-chain will be eligible to claim the test token. I believe this is anyone who's traded on-chain with the Magic Eden wallet. The allocation will be the same for everyone that is eligible. Going through this, there's a few things. You can read it yourself. One thing is diamonds contribute to ME, but not 100% all of it. So it's part of your allocation, but maybe once again, doing the test would be some. Maybe actually minting some of the test NFTs, even the one on Ape Chain, maybe that could be eligible. The Ape Chain one, sorry, that didn't use the ME wallet, but you know, the base chain one or something like that. Those things could actually be part of it. Either way, I don't have enough information about the ME token to be bullish or bearish. Just use the advice, get amongst it. All right, let's next bit of news. Grass airdrop is going to happen October 28th at 1:30 p.m. UTC, and this is airdrop number 1, and this is currently worth at a FTV of over $1 billion. So if you have 10 grass, you're going to get $10. What am I going to do here? I don't have much, like 471, kind of measly. I'm just going to hold them. If I'm going to sell them in the future, I'll let you know. I think grass and its competitor, not competitor, but grass in the same category. I think the competitors are Web2 companies, Uprock. I think these things do have serious product market fit. All right. Next, let's get onto the calendar. And GM, to everybody that's saying hi, appreciate that. Ask any questions, we'll answer a couple at the end. And hi, Nick, you're always here, and I appreciate that. So the calendar must be bookmarked by every person out there, so you can get a nice TLDR of things going. One thing is, we don't have any specific news on it because gaming is not something that I'm like super familiar with, but Play Metalcore has migrated to Solana. Apparently this is a pretty cool game and it's worth checking out if you're into gaming. All these things are worth checking out if you've got the bandwidth for it. Go get a little bit of yogs in. Some Arvo morning yogs. The JUP DAO has put out this here. Remember, active staking reward period vote will go live this Friday. I believe it goes live in 28 minutes or something like that. So go and get your votes in. You've got between now and the 29th, 3:30 p.m. UTC. Also, there are more and more people which are voting, which is fantastic. And if you have more than 100 JUP, you are in the top 50% because a lot of people have less than 100. I would really try and suggest that people try and work up to 100 for those that don't have a lot of JUP. I understand, you know, even $100 is a lot for some people, but try and get to 100 JUP. That's just an idea in my mind that gets you into the top 50%. It means you're working towards a goal, and I think that would be worthwhile. Of course, there's some people that have even less, and there's some people that have a huge amount. Doesn't really matter. Just I firmly believe that if you're holding JUP and it's not staked, it's not even worth holding, because then you're just speculating on its value, which you're welcome to do so, but I think you should stake it and vote with it. May is, I've met her in real life. She's an absolute legend. She's the 9-year-old intern. She's just tiny. Maybe she has the height of a 9-year-old. And she has put out this here, which is a new thing, fox.jup.ag. And it's, similar to something like Polymarket or Bet on Drift. At that stage, they've only got one thing, but it looks pretty cool of what they've done. Trump wins, you whatever. If you want to vote no, fine, but it puts it as kind of like a bit of an NFT in your wallet. Give it a go. It's a different project, but it's from the JUP team. This is not an airdrop play, but it's just kind of cool. It could be worth doing. It is worth doing, in my opinion. Anything from Meow and the team there, I think is very, pay attention to it. Not all of it's going to find product market fit, but I think a lot of it will. Noon has this as a bit of a TLDR. You got the grasping, TestME, but also DVY Launch on BONK Launchpad and the airdrop October 29th. Remember, if you have any DVY NFTs, make sure they're staked. Otherwise, it's not worth holding them. Now, some Bitcoin news, specifically when it comes to Microsoft. So Microsoft's looking at potentially getting into some Bitcoin. That would be very, very bullish news for Bitcoin and just a general crypto macro news. It will put things on radar for sure. So what the actual point is they are asking shareholders to vote on assessment of investment. So actually, let's do an assessment. However, apparently Microsoft has said, vote against it. And I believe the reason is because Microsoft's management already carefully considers this topic, meaning I think they've already done the assessment. They're voting, look, this is a smart thing to do. If you cannot see the narrative, they're in the digital game, it's digital currency, it's worthwhile having some exposure. I think they're basically saying, let's not go and spend $1 million or $2 million doing an assessment of this. Just vote against it. And then the next thing will be management's already said, hey, we've done the assessment. These are the findings. We believe we should. Something like that. That's how I think it would go, but we'll see. Now, ETFs are big news in crypto. The big news in the world, because it just means people can gain access to things kind of easier. I would still rather your average person hold things yourself, because there's no guarantee that they actually hold it, the tokens. For example, gold ETFs, they don't necessarily hold all that gold. But when it comes to Bitcoin, pretty confident they do. And it gives a chance to on-ramp in an easier way. One thing is BlackRock's IBIT, their ETF for Bitcoin, this is the most successful one in the last 4 years. There's been 1,800 ETFs launched, and this has $26 billion worth of value or something like that. It says 23 here, but maybe it's now at 26 in the last couple of days. Either way, that's massive, to have such crazy inflow just like that. US spot Bitcoin ETF demand hits a 6-month high, with net flows totaling almost 65,000 Bitcoin over the last 30 days. Doesn't necessarily mean that price is going to just skyrocket, but that 70K, once we hit past through that per roll, it's banana zone. This is a bullish thing to see. It's just eating up a lot of the demand. Everything is not everything. The majors have a little bit of greenery. The grass is greener here, but nothing too crazy. I can't show you the state of the market in terms of greed, because that calculator is not working. Another calculator had a different reading. But we're similar to what we have been. We are slightly greedy. This is from Joe McCann, just showing that Solana has been outperforming year to date, basically everything when it comes to the big ones. Bitcoin and Solana, if you jumped into those, did well. This is really sad to see, but Ethereum hasn't. It hasn't pulled on a narrative. And although there are big meme coins playing over there doing well, the fees, everything, it's the OG money's there, but they haven't yet decided that this is the time to pump it. You'll have it stay, but it will not be a multiple of what Solana can do, in my opinion. Network daily priority fees sets a new all-time high. This is good and bad. It's good because, validated stakers, they make money. I really want to make sure that people are staking their soul stake it with Validate.com. Do not let your SOL just sit idle in your wallet. Having said that, I've got some myself. I'm going to go and stake it. You can always unstake it if you want to use it again. And I can do a specific video on there if you want to gain access to it quickly. But this is good, but also there's a lot more stuff to be done because we do want Solana to remain very, very cheap and very, very affordable. And that way, all that ZK compression tech, which is a lot of hackathons for, that will ensure that we can keep things at a far more affordable price. Because when SOL's at $1,000 or something around that, then to have like a single token account, it's going to cost a couple of dollars. Cool. All right, got a couple of questions here. Just run through these very quickly. Good morning, Uprock from California. Good GM. And Nick is saying Sonar Watch is a great tool. Do you know of any other? Sonar Watch and Step.Finance are your best ones when it comes to Solana, and DBank is your best one when it comes to EVM land. However, Sonar is the best one at present. It's just pulling in more data. It doesn't pull everything, but it pulls in more data. So back to the daily revenue. Solana is now going nuts. Gumshoe even said that he's going to run naked through the streets of Lisbon. Hopefully he doesn't. There'll be a bit of legal trouble. But Solana's done very well here. And it's mostly because of meme coins. So if you're going to play with meme coins, you're probably you want to jump on multiple blockchains. You will not succeed at that unless you are doing it properly full-time and have a very specific thesis. It's better to concentrate on 1 or 2 blockchains at max. And even if the market caps of PopCAD and WIF and BONK don't go as high as, say, Pepe or Shiba, there's far more value over here in Solana. And you can see that just based on the amount of activity that's happening. This is some major news. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've started to shred a little bit, which is good. It's coming to walking and gym and all that sort of stuff. And I'm very, very keen to share that Moonwalk Fitness has managed to raise some money, and they've done it very well. Apparently, I've seen another tweet from Forkless saying, didn't even create a pitch deck. I was even keen to get myself a walking treadmill, so that I could walk while I'm still working, but it wasn't going to be very comfortable for my downstairs neighbor, just with the boom, boom, boom noises. So if you're not getting amongst Moonwalk Fitness, then please do. If you have time to walk, regardless, like healthy habits, this is pretty important. It has product market fit, and you can see they've done well. The other thing that's very big is Binance have actually invested. Now, this is a speculation play here, but if Binance is getting amongst something, they're probably looking at a token launch that would come onto their platform. And if it did happen, that would be worthwhile. So maybe there's like some sort of ongoing points program. Speculation, no confirmation, just logical speculation. Get amongst Moonwalk Fitness, get your steppies in. Enough said. Trader Cos says BONK is gearing up, flip the mid-range. I'm going to give you what the actual numbers are here, and I'll get them put into the chat. This is just a competent trader. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is what it is. I have so much conviction in BONK. It's maybe blinding my judgment, but if I have a very least a DCN, a little bit of a long, cover that in the 5K Memecoin video live stream I did the other day. So I'll tell you them right now, just so you are fully aware. And let's have a look here. But I will copy and paste them below. So BONK entry is like basically 0.4019 to 4022 range. This will be written below. Take profits at 4026 and 4034. Not very specific there, but it is specific. But basically, you don't have to take a, like if you're going to day trade this or just range trade this, you've got some kind of options there. Let's have a look. Go back here. Where am I going? Sorry. Back to my stream. Yeah. But I'll put that below because that's probably not super helpful. Another one we have with Whiff. This is from Blunt. Blunt gets some things good, some things not good. He said that it was all over for Sol, and he's been completely wrong about that from the moment he said it. Nevertheless, when it says that Whiff, he said it's got an entry of like $1.50, apparently. Don't know where that came from, but if you see a dip, but if you have some, you may want to take profit at $2.90 and $3.25. See how you go. All right, Infinex here. Infinex I spoke about in my live stream last night. I also spoke about Cast and just as actionables. Speedwatch said if you've got if you have the chance, this is something I'm super bullish on, and I'm so bullish on it that people think I'm shilling or sponsored. There is no sponsorship here. There's conviction plays, and I'm very confident I'm right on this. Plus, if you got him and actively did everything, you'd probably get enough points to have made a couple of $1,000s that you could sell the points if you don't actually get the NFT. Either way, vesting for the locked-in patrons has started. Unlocked patrons will be available from 11 a.m. UTC. I'm going to be setting some stinky bids at like 0.5 wrapped ETH on Magic Eden. And if one person will win a trip to be who buys this on day one will win a trip to be flown out to Thailand business class to meet the team if they buy it on October 28th. So if you're keen to buy one, get amongst it. If you want more information on this, jump into Discord and just ping them questions. This is something that I don't want to bore everyone with, but I have proper conviction because I think it works out well. All right, couple questions. Yes, I live in Lisbon. And the second one is BNB UK. You keep on mentioning this. Opus is not going to perform well. It hasn't. It's had its heyday. In my opinion, try something else. There's no neo-religion that will be formed from this. It's an HGE project. They have never done well repeatedly for a long period of time. Eclipse Airdrop farming, and just try this out. This is a very strong reminder. It will be done actively by myself and my team from tomorrow. Last few hours to do this. Okay, so maybe we're running out of time here. Maybe this needs to be done today. But I will link this below and actually do this. Hopefully we haven't missed this. Either way, the mint costs a small amount, goes into the fund dedicated to bootstrapping the first NFTs and launch on Eclipse. And it's probably not going to be the meta unless they are related to utility NFTs, in my opinion. But either way, I think Eclipse is certainly worth getting some involvement in. SUI Name Service, bit of a speculation play. Unsure if they have a token yet. Didn't find out fast enough. I don't think so. Either way, could be worth getting a couple of SUI domain names over there. You know, you may want to use them if SUI blows up. I think it will. And also, who knows? Exclusive discounts or whatever, they could be relevant. You can also go mint this next NFT from Arcium, which is also led by Nasana. Cool. And Binance launched GOAT yesterday as perpetual contracts. I didn't cover it yesterday, or maybe I did. Can't really recall. But that's one of the big reasons why the price jumped up. I'm unsure what the price actually jumped up to, but you can work that out yourself. Well, let's get through the news. BONK news. The latest BONK Dragon attribute can be obtained by wagering a minimum of 1 million BONK on any event on BONK bets through to November 28th. She has a little bit of a recap here. And she also said in this that, you know, go and lock up for 12 months, 1 million BONK to get the other attribute rewards. They are no longer available. That was an incorrect thing there. To clarify, the only BONK Dragon attribute currently available to claim is a BONK Bets attribute. All others are closed. Still, go and do this. This is not legal financial advice. This is merely like enlightening you. If it's not legal to do in your country, do not do anything that's illegal. Should you wish to circumvent this, you can use a VPN. If you're using VPN, please disable it and try again. A good VPN will get around this geo restriction if you want to do this. If you can't do it, that's entirely up to you. Please don't put in the comments that anything related to this. You know how to do this. It's up to you. It's a personal decision. You can do what you like. After the game, your 1 million BONK wager was placed on, you will see at bonkdragon.com or whatever the website is, I believe it's at, that you're going to have another attribute. Also, part of a larger thesis, but Robinhood Crypto EU, if you're in Europe, you'll earn €2 for learning about BONK, which I think is cool. And I have a feeling that even if you just earn that €2, maybe that €2 will turn into like €60 worth of BONK at the end of the cycle. Plus, there could be other opportunities. It could be your first chance to get in. Maybe there'll be a further airdrop for anyone that actually gets into these things. I think it's very good for going mainstream. This is one of the reasons why I think it's really, really important that Robinhood uses this. Plus, if Robinhood US uses this, then BONK, kaboom. That's why I DCA into BONK. Bags, this is something I want to put onto your radar. I did an interview with the founder at Breakpoint. You can watch that if you like. Just type in Bags and Seb Montgomery on my channel and you'll find it. But this is like all related to like Memecoin chats and having communities that have the same literal bag, the same Memecoin. It's only available on Apple and I use an Android, but it'll hopefully come soon. This guy and his team are very smart developers. In my experience, they understand a lot of stuff, and I would try this right now. Actionables. All right, go do your ASR vote. As you know, DCA Sol on JUP.ag, stake it with validate.com. If you hold stables, you can go and deposit into USDC Euros LP for maybe just 1 week. Why that? It's a nice juicy APR. Participate in Moonwalk Fitness challenges. If you cannot do 10,000 steps a day, like I can't, there are quite often smaller ones. Place at least 1 million BONK in BONK bets to get the latest BONK Dragon attribute. That is not legal advice, but you may want to do that. I'm not even going to say if I'm going to do it, but you understand you can use a VPN. Follow the Eclipse Airdrop guide for the airdrop actionables and mint the latest Arcium Quest NFT. That is all for today. Thanks very much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments what you want me to cover in the future. Cheers.